All right, man. Torture Talk, you know what it is. So look, man, today's episode, Fat Joe's on the chopping block, man. He's on the chopping block. So before we get into that, you already know what it is. If you want to leave a donation, link is on the screen. Cash App, no more PayPal. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies. Put one in the chat. Or fellas, y'all know to find the ones that just don't harass them. I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. Also, 25,000 subscribers. I'll be giving away a nice size cash prize. So make sure you're here for that. And shout out to all the nominees for the award ceremony that I'm doing. That will be January 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be doing all the nominations. Well, all the winners. Nominations will be dropping this week. Another collective of nominations will be dropping this week. So, yeah, man, let's get to this, man, because I got a story to tell about Fat Joe, and I actually met him in person one time, and yeah. All right, this comes courtesy of Poetic Flacco. You already know what it is, man. So let's get it, man.
Cassidy is finally giving us answers to one of hip-hop's biggest mystery, which is what exactly happened in that hotel room when Fat Joe and Papoose had an all-out brawl in 2007. So back in 2007, Fat Joe and Papoose ended up in the same hotel room as Cassidy while they were beefing, and they really wasn't beefing, to be honest. Fat Joe had an issue with Remy Ma at the time. Their beef was really intense. She was dissing Fat Joe on the radio often. Fat Joe also had a beef with 50 Cent at the time. Their beef was pretty intense as well. Remy Ma was dating Papoose and was kind of also signed to Papoose a little bit at that time. And then Papoose was also 50 Cent right-hand man. So Fat Joe, I think at that time, just had an issue with Papoose because Papoose was associated with too many people he didn't like.
I don't know if that's actually accurate. I'm not sure. Let's just say that. I do know that Fat Joe was he was a character back in the day. Let's just say, and I'm gonna go into that in a little bit, but I met Fat Joe. I was doing it was me, we was in a group, me, my cousin, and one of my friends, and we had a rap group, and we had to perform in Philly, in the mall, actually. The 8th Street Mall? The 8th Street Mall, we performed in front of Fat Joe. I believe it wasn't Nori, it was Fat Joe, Black Thought, and I think it was Gaddafi or Capone. One of them. No, it was what's that dude name? Mega. It was Mega. We performed in front of them and went to shake Fat Joe's hand. He didn't really shake my hand. You know what I'm saying? He didn't shake my hand. He kind of like, he didn't give me a man shake. Let's just say that. He gave me a shake, but it was one of those like that. Cause we was different. We face paint on, jump around like hooligans. You know what I'm saying? He's like corny niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's what he probably was saying. And Black Thought and Mega, they shook our hand, but he was like little the little shake. Little nigga shake. This my revenge, nigga.
This was before social media per se, but everything played out in the public because both Fat Joe and Papoose gave descriptive interviews detailing what took place that night, but they both have very different stories on exactly what happened. So because their stories are so different, obviously somebody is lying and somebody is telling the truth, but nobody else who was there that night had came forward besides these two for the last decade or so? Well, that's until the Cassidy interview this week detailing what exactly happened. From Papoose' perspective, Fat Joe walked in, causing ruckus, and he two-pieced Fat Joe. But from Fat Joe's perspective, of course it's from Fat Joe's perspective, he had Papoose crying, shivering in fear, hiding behind tables. He sent a couple of Papoose friends to the hospital in critical condition. Fat Joe really sold this story, bruh.
You know what I mean? People already know who Papoose was before I punched him in his face, so it doesn't really make or break my career. But next time he'll think before he underestimates somebody. You know what I'm saying? As far as where it stands now, I don't really care. Like, it's up to him. I'm not thinking about him. He's not a threat to me. He's not the least bit intimidating. He's not a hot artist. He's trash. You know what I mean? So he's not really in my mind. Lyrically, he's not on my level. This is hip hop. Lyrically, I feel like I annihilated him on that track already. First verse, I always do that. I warm up. Second verse, I go for the juggler. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? 50 Cent office is across the street from Madison Square Garden. Fat Joe had a problem with 50 Cent. He likes to go around the problem, and for some reason he thought that he could come at me sideways, like I was gonna be some kind of scapegoat. But I still told, like I'm supposed to. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We don't back down to nobody. I asked him. I gave him the opportunity to shoot me a fair one, to fight me one-on-one in front of 9 of his bodyguards, and he refused. He came to me, he asked me a question, do I have a problem? I responded, do you want to make it a problem? He asked me the same stupid question. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do you have a problem with me? Yeah. Two-piece.
We got Fat Joe on the line.
I don't know about that, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know about that. I don't know if I believe that story. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know if I believe that story. Just listen to what he said. I'm just being straight with y'all. I don't know if I believe that. He said it kind of felt like they had a squabble. Maybe he got the best of him, and he got lumped up a little bit. And the way he portrayed it is like, because he kept saying stuff that really had nothing to do with it. I'm a better rapper than him. And like just stuff that, like, if you beat somebody up, you ain't going around saying that, look, man, it don't matter because I'm still better than him anyway. It sounded like it was an excuse. I ain't gonna lie. It does.
Hello?
Jonesy, since when you know me to be a punk in your life?
No, I ain't call you a punk.
All right, this is what I'm hearing. Yo, Jonesy, you have never known Fat Joe to back down from anybody in the history of mankind. Papoose is a boy. You know they got hotel rooms, Envy, when you on the road, they got the little kitchen in there? Mm-hmm. He jumps over the wall and traps himself in the corner, right? So I go up in there, I say, yo, Papoose, do we have a problem, homie? He says, well, you want it to be a...
Do we have a problem, homie? Bro, this is crazy, man. Oh my God.
When you on the road, they got the little kitchen in there? Mm-hmm. He jumps over the wall and traps himself in the corner, right? So I go up in there, I say, yo, Papoose, do we have a problem, homie? He says, well, you want it to be a problem? At that point, he caught what we call the beats, right? His man jumped in the way. His DJ, did he tell you his DJ is in the hospital still? His man jumps in the way, got two-piece Bloody Mary. His whole face is ripped up, right? His man, he got some real good human shields. His other man, who's his best friend, his lip looked like an 18-wheeler tire when we was done with that boy. When they finally had enough, Papoose never...
Yo, he said his lip looked like an 18-wheeler tire. Bruh, I don't know, man. Both of these niggas lying. They both exaggerating. This is crazy. I love it.
Ripped up, right? His man, he got some real good human shields. His other man, who's his best friend, his lip looked like an 18-wheeler tire when we was done with that boy. When they finally had enough, Papoose never threw a punch. He's crouched down. I felt so sorry for this boy, Miss Jones. I gave him the beats. I was telling him, you better respect me. This is the beats.
This was before Fat Joe ruined his good name and reputation on the internet. So people really believe Fat Joe. This was pretty believable. And Papoose and the idea of Papoose beating up Fat Joe was kind of unheard of. Papoose got hands, but Fat Joe at that time was Terror Squad Fat Joe. Fat Joe was a menace. Fat Joe.
All right, man. Let me explain something to y'all. Listen, I'm gonna be straight with y'all. I ain't never tell y'all a lie. I'm telling you now, I ain't never tell y'all a lie. Fat Joe was the original Suge Knight. Back in the day, Fat Joe had the whole New York scared of him, bro. I'm not even kidding, bro. Fat Joe was like a mob boss. You know who they used to compare Fat Joe to? And this is a great comparison. Kingpin. Fat Joe was Kingpin back in the day. You understand? If you know who Kingpin is, go look him up. Spider-Man villain, Kingpin. That was Fat Joe. Fat Joe and the Terror Squad. Understand? Them Puerto Rican Bronx niggas, bro, was not to be with. He had the whole New York petrified, bro. When 50 Cent dissed him, when 50 dissed Fat Joe, people were scared that 50 was gonna get deleted, bro. Like, I'm dead serious. He was like, oh no, man. He dissing Fat Joe. Oh. Playing with his name. Even when 50 Cent did How to Rob and he talked about Fat Joe and Fat Joe came out, bro, he was nobody to play with back in the day. Now, I don't know if he was actually like that, but his reputation, understand, Fat Joe reputation was like the East Coast Suge Knight, man. I'm dead serious. Dead serious.
Was a menacing figure in hip hop. Like, Fat Joe's lore wouldn't make people believe that Papoose did any of the thing. Think about the last time you dealt with a bully in school. Like, we're all grown men right now and we're all adults and we all got guns. So there's no such thing as a bully now because, I mean, it's an even playing field. But think about the last time you dealt with a bully in grade school. Like, do you remember, like, your perception of him? Your perception of this bully probably was, this dude is indestructible. This is the toughest, biggest, baddest dude on earth. Yo, you couldn't even fathom the fact that this dude could lose a fight until he lost the fight and got punched in his mouth by somebody who wasn't scared of him. And then your entire view and perception of him changed.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I remember when I was growing up, I was scared of this dude named Brian, right? Brian had the whole school scared of him, man. I'm telling you, the whole school. I was petrified of this dude. I don't know why. He was a scrawny little dude, but he was loud. You know what I'm saying? He was loud, and he had cousins, and his cousins was from a different city. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was scared of Brian. Everybody, right? New dude comes to the school. New dude, quiet, don't say nothing. He just quiet. And one day Brian said something to him. New dude was like, what you gonna do? And everybody was like, he about to die. He thought the new dude was gonna die. Because Brian he moved like he was Ares in the flesh, the god of war, little scrawny dude. And Brian was like, you see what I'm gonna do? Watch, after school, watch. New dude was there before Brian got there. As soon as Brian spoke, new dude just ate the punch and picked him up and slammed him on his neck. I wasn't scared of Brian no more after that. Because I knew all I gotta do is pick the nigga up and slam him. So I get what he's saying, man. Fuck you, Brian.
Well, we were still in the bully phase of the Fat Joe era. Fat Joe, the lore was, can't nobody deal with Fat Joe and his goons. So Papoose had an uphill battle trying to convince any or everyone that he actually gave Fat Joe a fight. So Papoose pretty much lost the battle of public perception at that point. Now, Cassidy did an interview today where he is responding, he just revealing exactly what happened in that hotel room. And I'll be real, if I had to choose between whose story is more accurate, Fat Joe or Papoose, I'll probably say Papoose story is a tad bit more accurate.
So later on when I'm in my room, playing cards, smoking, everybody around, chilling, whatever, so I get a call, and it's Papoose. I'm like, yo, boy, what's up? I'm like, yo, we in room such and such and such. You smoke? He like, nah, I don't smoke, but some of my homies do and all this. I'm like, well, we burning it down. We out here, there's girls up here, all this shit. Come through here, like, I mean, we here, whatever. He like, all right, bro, I don't remember the exact, but we hang up, finish playing John. 30 minutes later, 20 minutes, whatever it was, knock at the door. So my nigga holding me down, he go to the door, he look out, he like, yo, it's Pat, is that bull Pat Poose and some of his niggas. I'm like, all right, let him in. So open the door, it's Pat Poose and like 5 of his homies.
Yeah,
like
okay.
his DJ, 5 of his niggas and shit. So they all come in, we chilling, he playing his music, listening to his tape that he was working on at the time, and we vibing. It was cool, it was chilling. Then like after his tape play, I don't know how many minutes, cause I don't know, we smoking, we chilling, but then there's another door. Nah. My nigga go to the door. Yo, it's Fat Joe. It's Fat Joe at the door. So I'm like, Fat Joe, the rapper Fat Joe? He's like, yeah, nigga, Fat Joe.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well,
Yo, that is hilarious. Fat Joe, the rapper, Fat Joe. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
like I told you.
And you was cool with Fat Joe at that time.
I just told you that in the beginning. Like, I fuck with Fat Joe.
Right,
I don't
right.
got no problems.
Right.
And I don't know what's going on with
him and Pap at all.
Remy, because I'm thinking Remy down with Fat Joe.
Right,
I don't
right.
know, like, this mess with Remy and this a problem with Fat Joe.
One of the things that stood out to me was when Cassidy and Papoose is chilling, Cassidy says the homie tells Cassidy in front of everybody, in front of Papoose as well, yo, Fat Joe at the door. Papoose didn't offer no resistance. Papoose didn't say, nah, don't let him in, nah, chill, don't. Nah, for the most part, the way Cassidy is telling the story, Papoose kind of stayed quiet.
I mean, we wasn't there, so we don't know. I'm sure that there's more to that part. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he didn't hear him say it. I'm just trying to throw some bell here just to make the story more interesting. But maybe he didn't hear him. Who knows? Maybe he was in the bathroom at the time and he came back out right when he walked in. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know that. No.
Yeah, I'm like, it's whatever. Usually the person who's the calmest is somebody who knows they probably have leverage in the situation. And that leverage probably comes with either Papoose had more people with him than Fat Joe did, or Papoose knows his hands works and Fat Joe hand don't work. But either way, Papoose stayed quiet, didn't really offer any objection to letting Fat Joe in, even though he knew that him and Fat Joe had some issues. And Fat Joe walked in straight wilding like a character out of a movie.
And all this shit, I ain't put that shit together like that. I don't know.
Right.
Like, yo, ain't like he just barged in. Like, yo, this Fat Joe, what you want me to do? I'm like, Fat Joe, let him in. Like, that's my, I don't know. I'm not thinking like it's an issue or something.
Right.
So then, Fat Joe come in. Yo, do we got a problem here? So I'm thinking he playing like I come in and just be playing and shit. So I'm like, I start smiling and shit. And he like, yo, do we got a problem, man? He said the second time. So when he said like that and not look at me, he ain't make eye contact with me. So I'm like, so now it's getting a little weird. So now I stand up. Like, we on the couch. See Papoose right here next to me on the couch, and I'm on the couch. So when he do that, I'm like, I stand up, like, and then he say it again. But he like coming towards us, but looking at Papoose. Dude, we got a problem. And he looking at Papoose, and then Papoose looking like. But when they start going through that, that's when my.
See, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, because the way Papoose said, he jumped up like a supervillain. Yeah, we got a problem. Bro, yeah. Like, roughing them up. I'm telling y'all, man. Fat Joe was a menace to society back in the day.
See, that is between Fat Joe and Papoose. So my I got money and jewelry on the table, so my start grabbing my shit. They grabbed me and pulled me to the next room.
Fat Joe must have thought he's exactly who Al Capone thought he was. But Fat Joe walking in like a mafia boss. Do we have a problem? Oh, come on, man. And if I'm Papoose, I look to my right and I see Cassidy and his homies getting their jewelry and getting their stuff out the room and trying to move to the next room and leave me. Man, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I was set up. This is a back door.
But see, that's the thing with Fat Joe. He moved like he was a mob boss back in the day. 50 Cent was the one who exposed him. 50 Cent exposed a lot of people. He did. He exposed a lot of people, but Fat Joe, I'm telling y'all, people thought that Fat Joe was a mob boss. I'm talking like a cartel leader. That's what they thought he was. They thought that Fat Joe was like, he had 100 bodies. He stuck up his cuz, bro. That's what he said in the song. So people was petrified of him. They was like, I'm telling you, he was like the East Coast Suge Knight. So you don't understand. The Terror Squad. Yo, it was so bad at one point that you couldn't even, if you even said something about Fat Joe and it wasn't on wax, I'm talking about just in the privacy of your own home, you got kind of nervous. Cause you was wondering if somebody heard you next door that would probably know Fat Joe's sister's cousin's little brother, that go tell him, like, for real. It's crazy.
Because I would have thought it was a back door. I would have started socking on Cassidy right there. Nah, hold on, bro. You not just leaving. Nah, hold on, bro. Nah, you brawling too. Now, apparently me and Papoose think alike, because I do remember at that particular time there were rumors that Cassidy did indeed backdoor Papoose, but Cassidy always denied it. And Cassidy and Papoose at some point made amends and became cool again. But it's from this point forward, because I feel like both Papoose and Fat Joe told a story in similar fashions like this, because even Papoose mentioned Fat Joe came in screaming, do we have a problem? Fat Joe also confirmed this. Now, it's from this point forward of the story that becomes different, depending on who you ask.
And when we walking out, that's when the fight break out between them. But like I said, Papoose had with him. It wasn't like he was by himself. Right. He ran down on him. And all I remember seeing is like Fat Joe and Macho. Like, you know what I mean?
Fat Joe was by himself or with a couple people?
He was with Macho, like two, but I don't, or maybe one more, maybe three the most.
Okay.
I don't really remember.
You know, Fat Joe tell the story, he had 100
Papoose had more with him than Fat Joe had with him.
Okay.
So when we left out, it was like a big scuffle, the whole shit, and the whole shit went down. Okay. But my issue was the next, like.
But you was out of there before the scuffle even happened.
Yeah, I was in the next room because that was my room, and I had the room next door.
Oh, okay, so you had two rooms. I want
to stand there and let them, like, I don't know if they about to shoot. I don't even know what it's over. I don't even know what's going on. It's just, first I stand up to make sure, like, what's up with me? Then once he is not with me, we start grabbing our shit. Like, I don't know what the f going on. I don't know what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But afterwards, came to me. Papoose came in my room the next door and told me what happened, and I went and sent my to get Fat Joe back. Okay. Like, because it was an issue. He was missing some shit. Okay. So I sent Fat Joe, my to get Fat Joe, and Fat Joe came back. Fat Joe ain't know that was my room. Okay. He just seen us in there. He thought it could have been his room. He ain't know it was my room, and he was violating like that. Okay. But he came back down to talk to them, and they was talking out in the hall in front of my room in the hall. So they talked after the.
So even after the fight, they still was able to talk.
Yeah, they talked again. And Papoose wanted his shit. You know what I'm saying? And, but regardless, bro, I don't even give a fuck about all them small details. It was a misunderstanding. Papoose signed with Rim. Rim was talking crazy about Fat Joe on the radio, and that's how the whole shit went down and all that.
We gotta read between the lines.
See, I don't know, man. I don't know. But the story is Papoose two-piece Fat Joe. And He booped them, dropped them, and they all started scuffling. And that was it. But the reason why I say this story is kind of weird to me is because nobody said, Fat Joe didn't say he got hit. And what's his name? Cassidy didn't say that Fat Joe got hit. The only person that said Fat Joe got hit was Papoose. He was the only one that said Fat Joe got hit. All of the story is accurate from both parts because Fat Joe did admit that he asked him, did he have a problem? And what's the name said the same thing. Well, see, Cassidy or Fat Joe, they never said that they talked after the fight. They never said that they talked after the fight. So maybe it was one of those. I'll explain. I'll explain what I think probably actually happened, and then somebody just running with the story.
Both Papoose and Fat Joe had some cap to their story. Papoose claiming Fat Joe had 9 security guards. Cassidy is saying Fat Joe didn't have 9 bodyguards or 9 security guards. That Papoose actually had more dudes than Fat Joe. So Fat Joe had about 3 dudes with him, according to Cassidy. Papoose had about 5 with him. So it wasn't that large of a number, unless Fat Joe had some dudes outside the hotel room holding guard. But nonetheless, though, the brawl happens. Now, if the brawl happened exactly how Fat Joe said it happened, I don't see the series of events that took place afterwards happening. If Fat Joe is claiming that he had Papoose under the table, scared and shivering, and as he was whooping on Papoose, he was telling Papoose, take that, you gonna respect me. You gonna respect me. Take that, you gonna respect me. I don't see that being a thing. Because if that happened and Papoose mans went to the hospital and Papoose got beat up so bad he was under the table shivering, getting spanked on, I don't see Papoose staying after the fact to holler at Cassidy next door. If that happened if it was as bad as Fat Joe described, you're getting out of Dodge as quick as possible. You are leaving. You're not staying. Bro, these dudes just put up on you and spanked you and your homies this bad. You're not staying. You leaving. The fact that Papoose stayed and ain't go nowhere, but Fat Joe left, that tells me everything that I need to know personally, right? I don't think that there was a clear-cut winner here. I don't feel like Papoose and them just absolutely spanked Fat Joe. I feel like it was a fight. I don't feel like Fat Joe got the best of Papoose as he claims. But because this was an era with no cell phones, no nothing, and they both could just very well say whatever, I feel like they both kind of told some cap, but I think Fat Joe capped the most. Fat Joe, to me, added extras on it that ain't need to be there. Now, Cassidy addresses...
He said he added extra caps on there. They need to be there. Bruh.
The backdoor accusations and why him setting up Papoose makes no sense.
But regardless, it's just the next day I just feel like my name was in it. Like
right.
I set Pep up.
Got you, yeah.
And I did this and
right.
I'm like, yo, like we not gonna do that. Like whatever happened, but I'm not gonna set you up. I don't got no problems with just my first time meeting you, Papoose. Why would I set you up? I don't got no issues with you.
Right.
And if I do set somebody up, it's never gonna be Fat Joe and Macho. Not saying they can't handle themselves, but they not mine. I wouldn't set you up with them. Like why would Terror Squad be running in there if I set you up?
Right.
Like if I set you up, it's gonna be different running in there.
Right.
It's gonna be a different scenario. What are you talking about? Like what are you talking about? So that was the issue with me, like, you know what I'm saying, with that whole shit. But we got that cleared up. We did songs. We cool after that. Everything is cool.
So after hearing Cassidy's side of things,
the reason why I'm saying that I don't believe Papoose' story is because he thought that he was set up. My thing is, like, how would you... To me, he's kind of moving like he did get beat up. Because it wouldn't matter if you... if he ambushed you or came in there, you beat him up. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why would you be asking Cassidy, yo, did you set me up, bro? You set me up. Set you up for what? To win a fight? niggas don't say, yo, you set me up to beat this dude up. Like, come on. No, I don't believe that. As far as Fat Joe goes, the problem with Fat Joe is I think that he became so arrogant and so big and so the Brian type, so to speak. You know what I mean earlier in the video. That people started looking at him as if he was actually like that. When 50 Cent exposed him, put it out there and showed that he wasn't who he was, you kind of seen his relevancy as far as him being who he was, like the terror squad leader. And then it was other people who actually exposed him too. You started to realize that all these rappers ain't who they say they are. The whole time we up here thinking that this guy is a menace to society. He's Old Dog, the fat version of Old Dog back then. And come to find out, he was a big bitch. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what a lot of people say, allegedly. And I think a lot of us was scared for nothing. See, the thing is, when you're dealing with hip hop music in general, what they do is they these record labels and these different A&Rs and these different publishing companies, they promote something to you and make you believe it the whole time. And don't get me wrong, there are some rappers out there that do some egregious things. We all know this, but this guy, man, we really truly thought that he was a crime boss. We thought that Fat Joe had the Bronx on lockdown. Like nobody couldn't leave the Bronx because Fat Joe was in the area. You know what I'm saying? He was a larger than life figure. You know what I mean? And I ain't saying it to be funny. Like he really was. He was like the kingpin. He looked like him too. So, I mean, but now he just makes he has a lot of egregious takes and he says things, and some people saying that he's not Puerto Rican, he's actually Cuban. I mean, I don't see why it would matter. Why does that matter? Yeah, I mean, well, because he ain't Puerto Rican. He speaks Spanish, right? I thought Cubans speak Spanish too, unless they speak, I don't know. Cubans speak Cuban. But yeah, he definitely not who he used to be. And I think that when I met him, I realized that, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these dudes, they get a good look, or they get in these positions where people help them out. You know what I'm saying? And they got a lot of clout, or they got a lot of followers, or they got a lot of this and a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? But definitely Papoose punching on him was not something that people believed. Because when we heard that story, yeah, right. Papoose put his hands on, he hit Papoose. Please, like, you know, and then some people over exaggerate. So I don't know. I still went into this not knowing what happened and came out of it not knowing what happened. But either way, man, I don't know if I believe any of their story, because it probably was most likely what probably happened is he came and said, you got a problem, and then Fat Joe probably swung on him and they had a scuffle. That's it. I don't think Fat Joe swung and he hit him with the quick 2-piece, like while he's real close to him, like like that, the close 2-piece. But he was saying that like he caught him flush, like boop, a flush John, you know what I'm saying? Like that. But it wasn't even like that. They probably was close together like this, and he probably hit him like that, you know what I'm saying? That's what probably happened. It was close together. The close, like the phone booth fighting. Something he hit him. I hit him with a 2-piece. Yeah. Doing close, real close together like this. The small Jones. Get out of here, man. Either way, man, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on